Hello everybody, this is Pastor Green. We're doing another Bible study, Exodus chapter 23. If you'd like me to come speak at your church, or if you have any questions, email me at godsohman@gmail.com. Exodus 23 and verse 1. Thou shalt not raise a false report, put nigh thy hand with the wicked to be a righteous witness. Basically it's saying, don't lie. When you're trying to be a witness to somebody in a court case, don't lie. I mean, it's pretty common sense. You shouldn't lie. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak a cause to decline after many to rouse judgment. So it's saying that if a bunch of people are doing something wrong, don't follow them. And don't say something if it's a wrong judgment. You're supposed to do what's right in the eyes of the Lord. You're not supposed to do something that's wrong. Neither shalt thou countenance a poor man in his cause. So, treat the poor right. Don't be mean to poor people. If thou meet thine enemy's ox, or thy ass going astray, thou shalt surely bring it back to him again. A lot of people would think, oh, this is my enemy's animal, I'm going to go and keep it for myself. But God says, no. If you find something that belongs to your enemy, give it back to him. And I think he's doing this for a couple of different ways. I mean, if you have strife with somebody and you're nice to them, they're more apt to be nice to you back. And not to mention, if there's a war was to break out, you want to be on the side that said, I did everything I possibly could to make things right. You don't want to be the cause of a fight. If thou see the ass of him that hateth thee lying under his burden, and wouldest forbear to help him, thou shalt surely help with him. So if you're seeing somebody that's struggling, you need to go out and help him. Thou shalt not wrest the judgment of a poor in his cause. Keep thee far from a false matter, and the innocent and righteous slay thou not, for I will justify the wicked. So don't do things that are wrong. The innocent and the righteous, don't get involved in those things. And thou shalt take no gift, for the gift blindeth the wise, and perverteth the worth of the words of the righteous. Also thou shalt not oppress a stranger, for you know the heart of a stranger, seeking you were strangers in the land of Egypt. So if you see somebody that's a stranger, don't be mean to them, because you yourself was a stranger in Egypt. You know what that feels like. So don't be nice to strangers. In 6 years thou shalt sow thy land, and shalt gather in the fruits thereof. So this is really cool. So 6 years you work your land, and you gather the fruits and the seeds, and you work your field for 6 years. But on the 7th year thou shalt let the rest and lie still, that the poor of thy people may eat, and what they leave the beasts of the field shall eat. In like manner thou shalt deal with thy vineyard and with thy oliveyard. So what it's saying is, for 6 years you go ahead and tend to your field. The 7th year you don't mess with your field. You take a year of vacation off, and whatever grows there, that's for the poor, the needy, and the animals to eat. Same thing with the vineyard and the oliveyard. You work it for 6 years. The 7th years, whatever grows naturally, that's what's going to grow in your field, and God's going to provide the year that you take off. And if you remember in the book of Ruth, Ruth was actually in Boaz's field, gleaning in the fields. You're supposed to cut your field and leave the corners and the edges alone for the poor and the needy. 6 days thou shalt do thy work, and on the 7th day thou shalt rest, and thine ass may rest, and the sons of thy handmaid and the stranger may be refreshed. So it's saying work 6 days, take the 7th day off. The 7th day is the Sabbath day. That way you can rest, your servants can rest, and your animals can rest as well. And in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect, and make no mention of the name of other gods, neither let it be heard out of thy mouth. Circumspect is a word that basically means, do a 360. Always be looking all around you. Always be seeing what's going on. And it says, make no mention of the name of the other gods, and don't let it be heard out of your mouth. So don't say, well, the people over there are doing such and such, and they're worshiping to such and such. Don't do that, because you follow the Lord and the Lord alone. 3 times thou shalt keep a feast unto me in the year. So it's saying every year you're supposed to have 3 feasts. Thou shalt keep the feast of unleavened bread. You shall eat unleavened bread for 7 days as I commanded thee, in the time appointed to the month of Abib. For thou camest out of Egypt, and none shall appear before me empty. Now remember, you had the feast of unleavened bread during the Passover. In the feast of the harvest, the firstfruits of thy labors, which thou hast sown in the field. In the feast of the ingathering, which is the end of the year, which thou hast gathered in thy labors out of the field. So you have 3 feasts you have to remember every year. 3 times a year, all thy males shall appear before the Lord God. And so 3 times you got to go to Jerusalem and basically appear before God. And this really wasn't a big deal. I mean, it would take you maybe a day's journey to get to Jerusalem at the most. So it wasn't that hard of a thing to ask for. Thou shalt not offer the blood of my sacrifices with leavened bread, neither shall the fat of my sacrifice remain until morning. So don't dip your bread in some blood. And if you sacrifice something, don't make sure the blood's all cleaned up, make sure the fat's all cleaned up. Don't let it just sit there. You can have diseases and stuff from that. The first fruits of thy land shall thou bring to the house of the Lord thy God, and thou shalt not seethe a kid in its mother's milk. And seethe is a type of cooking. It's basically saying, you get a pot and you put milk in it, and then you put a baby goat in there, then you boil it up, and that's how you cook it. And they said, you can do that, but just don't use its own mother's milk. And for this reason, a lot of Jewish people don't eat cheeseburgers, because you have a burger and you have the cheese, which is made from milk. And since they don't exactly know where that milk came from, they don't want to risk possibly having the same burger and the same milk be, the same family. So they don't usually eat cheeseburgers. Behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in thy way, and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. So God's saying, as you're making this journey, I'm going to have an angel going before you to basically make your way. Beware of him, and obey his voice. Provoke him not. For he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. So it's saying, this angel is going to be out there. Don't provoke him, and if he says do something, you follow his rules. But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice, and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto thy enemies, and an adversary to thine adversaries. So if you follow my law, if you do what the angel says, as you're working on this new land, he's going to take care of enemies. If there's people that are nice there, great. If there's people that are going to attack you, the angel will take care of that. For mine angel shall go before thee, and bring thee into the Amorites, and the Hittites, and the Perizzites, and the Canaanites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, and I will cut them off. So it's saying there's an angel going to go in there into all these different lands, and it's going to take care of these people. Thou shalt not bow down to their gods, nor serve them, nor do offer their works, but thou shalt utterly overthrow them, and quietly break down their images. So as you come into these towns, you're not gonna bow down to them. You're not gonna follow their gods. You're not gonna serve them. You're not gonna work for them. You're gonna destroy them. You're gonna break down their idols. This is what you're gonna do. Don't have pity on them, basically. And ye shall serve the Lord your God, and he shall bless thy bread and thy waters, and will take sickness away from the midst of thee. So if you do my commandments, if you follow my orders, he's going to take care of you. You're going to have food, you're going to have water, and you're not going to get sick. There shall nothing cast in your young, nor be barren in thy land, and the number of thy days will be fulfilled. So it's saying that you guys are going to have a lot of kids if you follow my commandments, and you're going to have, you're going to be on the earth for a longer period of time. And I will set my fear before thee, and I will destroy all the people to whom thou shalt come, and I will make all thy enemies turn their backs unto thee. And basically this angel's going to go in there, And the people have a choice to leave, or they can fight the angel. People are going to know that you're coming. They're going to be scared of you. And if they want to fight you, my angel's going to take care of it for you. And I will send hornets before thee, which shall drive out the Hittites, the Canaanites, and the Hivites from before thee. So God's actually going to send hornets in there. And the hornets are going to get these people to get out. Hornets are going to set up nests and stuff like that. And people aren't going to want to hang around no more. I will not drive them out from before thee in 1 year, lest the land become desolate and the beasts of the field multiply against thee. He's saying that I'm going to slowly take over this land, and then you're slowly going to come in and take over. Because if I just rush them all out, there'll be nobody there to kill the animals and to make this place look nice. I don't want it to just be desolate, and then you got weeds growing up in the houses and animals are living in the houses. So I'm going to do it very slowly. As you come into a land, I'm going to push that little small part out, and then not the rest of it. And then as you go a little further, I'll take care of that little part. And that way, the area still looks nice when you show up. By little and little, I will drive them out from before ye, until thou be increased and inherit the land. He's basically saying, you guys don't have enough people to inhabit this whole entire land and keep it an actual nice land. There's not enough of you guys left right now. So you got to have more people to fill this whole land. That way you can take care of it. And I will set thy bounds from thy Red Sea, even to the sea of the Philistines, and from the deserts unto the river. For I will deliver the inhabitants of the land unto your hand, and thou shalt drive them out before thee. So all these lands God's going to give you. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor with their gods. And you're going to find out later that these people are going to come in there. They're going to look all tattered, and they're going to say, oh, we've walked so far, help us out. God's saying, do not make an agreement with them. Do not worship their gods. Do not do it. I'm warning you ahead of time. They shall not dwell on thy land, lest they make thy sin against me. For if thou serve their gods, you will surely be a snare unto thee. So if you invite these people in, I know it's a nice thing to do, but once they start living there, they're going to start wanting their gods and their customs and their ways. And we don't want that. We want you to follow God and only God. Well, guys, that's the video. I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. If you think somebody would like this Bible study, go ahead and share it with them. I'm going to put some links on the screen. The bottom right-hand corner is going to be the Exodus Bible study. The top left corner is going to be Genesis Bible study. And then the bottom left corner is going to be a video that YouTube picks for you. I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, you can email me or comment. Have a great day.